In today's video, we got a little bit of everything for you. We got details on the all-new 2024 Kawasaki KX450 and what's new on it. Then we got an injury update on Club MX FXR Yamaha rider Jeremy Martin. Then we'll talk about Hayden Deegan and his first Moto win, his reaction. And finally, we look at a story that came out over the weekend. It's a couple days old, but I have to include it. It's regarding factory beta's plans on coming to the US and who they signed for 2024. Before we get into that, I'd like to remind you guys that you can support my work directly by heading to the mxnetwork.com or clicking the link in the description. Go buy a copy of my magazine. Issue number 5 is out there now. We look at Firepower Honda's Max Anstey, his journey from MXGP to the United States, and his long climb back to the top of the sport with his first Supercross win. Another story included in there is Hayden Deegan and why he could be possibly the new motocross heel. And then I always have a privateer profile. This time it's on the guy known as the OnlyFans guy, Logan Carnow. So if you want to read up on those, go grab a magazine, only $5.99. Let's get into the news. All right, our first story of the day is on Club MX FXR Yamaha rider Jeremy Martin. Martin's season started off a little rough. He was considered to be a title contender coming into the season, but he ended up barely making it into the top 10 in the first 3 motos. Now, obviously, the 4th moto of the season and the second one at Hangtown was possibly a season ender for Martin. He got an awesome start, but unfortunately lost the front end. As he was falling, he reached his arm out and got run over. If you haven't seen this gruesome crash, here's the clip. Now, we have yet to get an official update from Jeremy Martin himself or his team, but his brother Alex Martin did give us a short update via Instagram on his story yesterday saying, quote, "Update on the little man. He dislocated and broke his right wrist in the second moto crash at Hangtown. He had surgery this morning to set and fix several things. He's hurting pretty bad from this one. Hang in there, Jerma." It really sucks to see Jeremy Martin out, hurt again. I feel like he just can't catch a break. He's hurt literally every season. Hopefully the healing process goes well for him, and maybe we can finally see him back running up front soon where he belongs. The next story of the day is on Monster Energy Star Racing Yamaha's Hayden Deegan and his first Moto win. After qualifying with a not-so-good 13th on Saturday at Hangtown, Deegan launched to the whole shot in Moto 1, claimed a wire-to-wire 250 victory, ultimately taking the checkered flag barely in front of his teammate Justin Cooper. I think it was 2 seconds. So, second Moto wasn't that good. He ended up getting a 4th after a rough start, but 3rd overall, nothing to complain about that. Deegan was asked in the post-race interview to describe his first ever Moto win. Here's how he responded, quote, "First Moto, I was able to get the whole shot, and that is the key to these races, especially if you're still trying to find that winning speed. And that's definitely what I'm looking for. Getting a whole shot like that gave me some confidence and led the whole race, so I am super amped about that. And got my first whole shot. Got to keep building off that. Second Moto, didn't have a great start. Had to work through the pack and got to 4th, and yeah, it was good." Now, Hayden Deegan was also asked about his crazy style whilst leading the race. You could see all those fat whips he was throwing and all that style he was throwing in there. And somebody asked him if he was throwing away his energy or making it wasteful. Here's Deegan's response to that one.
It looked like you were having a bit of fun on that first lap. You were throwing some whips out here and there. Was that just you having fun, or were you just scrubbing?
Oh, yeah, I'm still a kid, so I got to get saucy off every jump, you know? A lot of the older guys are like, "Oh, you're wasting energy," but, I mean, you're really not if you're having fun doing it. So, yeah, first few laps, you know, if you got the lead, you got to throw a couple whips.
So, yeah, an awesome day for this young phenom. I see a lot of wins in this young man's future. To all those people who commented and saying that me calling him a phenom was false, I mean, there's no better way to prove you wrong than this one. So, Deegan's going to be on the podium and probably winning this season. Can't wait to see it. The next story of the day is the details of the newly announced 2024 Kawasaki KX450. Now, a few months ago, I gave you guys a first look at this bike when factory Kawasaki MXGP rider Romain Fevre was seen testing it, but we didn't have any details regarding the changes. Well, today, the proper announcement came out and we have a list of all the new changes. I'm not going to get into the super deep details of this. I'll tell you about that in a second, but here's the all-new features for this bike. The features for the 2024 bike include an all-new cylinder head, a lightweight aluminum frame, a moved exhaust to the center. It comes with an all-new Brembo braking system. It now has Kawasaki traction control, riding modes with handlebar-mounted switch box, and a Bluetooth connectivity using the Rideology app, which is Kawasaki's new mobile app that allows the users to make mapping changes, which basically the same thing that Yamaha has with its Power Tuner app. I'm really liking the sounds of these changes they made. It looks like the bike is going to be way better. I mean, if you look at Romain Fevre and what he's had to say about it, it looks like a good bike. I mean, he sits third in the World Championship standings. He's doing better than he has in a while, so maybe that says something about the bike. Now, if you guys want the full breakdown of every difference in each of those changes, you can find that in Kawasaki's press release wherever they post that, so you can do it there. The final story of the day is regarding the introduction of the Beta motocross bike and the team to the United States in 2024. The factory team will be called the Liqui Factory Beta Racing Team, just as it is in MXGP. This team will have 2 riders in the Monster Energy Supercross Championship, and they do claim they will be making an attempt to race some races in Lucas Oil Pro Motocross, but they're not fully dedicated to it yet. Maybe they will, but as of now, they have only announced the signing of 1 rider, and that is Benny Bloss. Benny Bloss is truly an awesome guy. He turned pro in 2015. He's a wicked talented rider in both Supercross and Pro Motocross. In 2018, he actually got the 450 Supercross Rookie of the Year award. Bloss has elite speed and true potential for a successful season on the new Beta 450. Benny Bloss said in his press release statement, quote, "I'm extremely excited to join the Beta Factory Racing Team. It's cool to see a brand with such a rich history in off-road racing to come into the U.S. Supercross and motocross space. I know this team will be capable of great things as we build and go racing in 2024. The team manager for Beta will be Carlin Gardner, and he will be scouting over the summer months looking for the team's second rider. Benny Bloss begins testing this bike in August to get a head start in the season with his future teammate, who will join soon after. Now, while the team is focusing on Supercross only, they may elect to race select outdoor nationals, as I mentioned, so we'll see how many they do, but that's all I have to say regarding that. All right, that's all the news we have today. If you do enjoy my content, hit that subscribe button on YouTube. If you're on Spotify or Apple, whatever, follow on there. And if you do want to support me directly, head to the mxnetwork.com and grab a copy of my magazine. I already laid out a couple stories that are in there. If you're interested, go grab one, only $5.99. It helps a lot. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.